Hello, this is Eleanor with the Audible Local Ledger. I'll be reading some stories today from the New Bedford Standard Times for Tuesday, November 26th, 2024. But first, the weather for this holiday week. Today will be breezy with a little rain, high of 58, low 36. Tomorrow, Wednesday, mostly sunny, 49 is the high, low 36. Thursday, the holiday, we've got periods of rain. The high will be 50 degrees, the low 36. And on Friday, times of cloud and sun, high 47, low 31. Our first headline, A Butter Center Would Hurt Fishing. This story is by Frank Mulligan, New Bedford. A proposed state ocean energy center fronting Homer's Wharf is drawing opposition from a prominent local attorney who is an abutting property owner. Richard T. Moses, who is also a retired Superior Court judge, said the proposed building clearly does not belong on Homer's Wharf in a letter to the City Council Property Committee. City Council approval is required for the proposal because the Mass Clean Energy Center wants to lease the site for 15 years. The Ports Authority enabling legislation requires a council okay for leases longer than 5 years. The Mass CEC's proposed $10 million Ocean Energy Innovation Center would be built on the 17,000-square-foot parking lot abutting the Bourne Counting Office off MacArthur Drive, currently leased through the Port Authority. The center would include the Bourne Counting House building, which would be renovated. The ground floor coffee and catering business would remain, according to the proposal. An event and meeting space would also be available in the renovated building. It would become the go-to hub for ocean energy community. It would be known as the Ocean Renewable Energy Innovation Center and would become the go-to hub for the regional ocean energy innovation community, providing physical and programmatic resources, according to Mass CEC. Mass CEC is a state economic development agency created to accelerate clean energy, called a potentially major economic opportunity. Mayor John Mitchell supports the proposal, calling it a potentially major economic opportunity for New Bedford, as well as a chance to increase the city's Higher Education Research Institute presence. Moses said he and his wife have owned the office building at 50 Homer's Wharf since 1996, which serves New Bedford's working waterfront. Little consideration shown for New Bedford fishing community. Moses wrote, "The claimed purpose of this building is to accommodate the offshore wind industry with little or no consideration of those who have invested in the city for decades and all of the people participating in the New Bedford fishing community." Moses said parking is at a premium on Homer's Wharf. The loss of parking posed by the proposal would significantly harm the fishing industry and other local businesses, including but not limited to the nearby restaurants and hotel. Another major drawback, he said, was that the proposed building would interfere with the large trucks that make deliveries and pickups from the fishing vessels and seafood processing operations located on Homer's Wharf. Construction process would interfere with access. If approved, the construction process would begin in early 2025 and be completed in the summer of 2026. That would interfere with access to fishing vessels, seafood plants, and other businesses on Homer's Wharf, Moses said. He added that Mass CEC had received 7 site proposals for the center and had solicited more input from 5 of the bidders. He said some sites were believed to be privately owned. There are clearly other viable options which the Massachusetts CEC can pursue, which would result in a much larger financial gain to the New Bedford community, and which would not have the multiple drawbacks of this proposal, Moses said. A date for the council committee meeting has not yet been set. Our next headline, Iconic New Bedford hot dog stand announces closure sometime in 2025, by Matthew Ferreira, New Bedford. The iconic North End hot dog stand, Gary's Best Hot Dogs, at 958 Ashley Boulevard, will be closing for good sometime in the new year, the business announced on social media early Friday morning. After much thought and after 40 years in business, Total retirement is on our agenda for 2025, the post from Gary's Best Hot Dogs Facebook account reads. With appreciation for so many years of a successful business, we will be sharing news as to what the future will entail. That being said, it's extremely heartbreaking to hear of so many small businesses closing their doors after decades of service to the area. The end of an era for many. The news has come right on the heels of the November 14 announcement that Your Dog Mill at 847 Kempton Street will also be closing its doors, with ownership there referencing over 50 years of business. Other recent local food businesses closings have included Carmine's at Candleworks, Mimi's, Dough Company, and Rustico. Appreciating the memories that will live on throughout several generations makes it a bit easier, Gary's Best Hot Dogs post reads. The employees over the years that have become family and the customers that make the work and service so much worth the effort. When is Gary's Best closing? While the post doesn't indicate exactly when Gary's Best Hot Dogs will close permanently, announcements of the business's schedule over the coming months offers this much. It should still be open as of March 2025. We will be closed Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day, with New Year's Day following. We are announcing that we will be closed the months of January and February 2025 for the winter season, reopening in March 2025, the post reads. Anita Franco, who has co-owned Gary's Best with her husband Joe Franco since 1984, told the Standard Times a closing date is nowhere at all in mind at this point. Once we decide, then it will be put out there. Lots to think about at this time of the year. That's why in 2025 we will move forward with details, Anita Franco said. For Gary's Best owners, idea of retirement is bittersweet. For Mr. and Mrs. Franco, now in their 70s, Gary's Best has been at the center of food of 4 decades worth of family memories. Contemplating retirement was difficult the past year, Anita Franco said, noting her husband has been finding the idea of retirement difficult to accept as well, especially considering the 4 decades of memories made there as a family. Needless to say, it's difficult to understand where 40 years have gone. Gary's Best first opened on Mother's Day weekend, 1984, Anita Franco said. She and her husband decided to name the business after their son, Gary, who was 4 when it opened and grew up working there. At the start, it was fun to try pick a name amongst ourselves, she said, noting Franco's Franks had been one of the ideas set before settling on Gary's Best Hot Dogs. I think we made the better choice in the end, she laughed. Gary's Best owner was once Standard Times Man of the Year. In 2013, Joe Franco was named the Standard Times 2013 Man of the Year for Acushnet. The article noted Franco's exceptional willingness to donate to community causes like GNB Voc-Tech's After Prom Party, Relay for Life events to benefit cancer research, and Acushnet Veterans Memorial Committee, to name a few. Review Roundup. Dave Portnoy's Guide to Pizza Places in New Bedford by Seth Chitwood. Last week, Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy dropped his reviews of several New Bedford area pizza spots while spotted filming in early October. Here's a guide to Dave Portnoy's best-reviewed pizza restaurants in the New Bedford area. Portnoy's One Bite Pizza Review Series, a YouTube channel with more than 1.3 million subscribers as of October 2024, features him ordering a large cheese pizza from restaurants across the nation and giving them a rating out of 10. The first One Bite Pizza Reviews video Portnoy produced was in 2013 at Town Spa Pizza in Stoughton. Since then, Portnoy has reviewed pizza restaurants in Brockton, Bridgewater, Middleborough, Stoughton, and Easton, among others. Pa Rafa's Pizza Score. In the October 25 episode of his first stop in New Bedford was at Pa Rafa's. The snug, casual spot, located at 2857 Acushnet Ave, offers up thin crust pies, grinders, and pasta dishes. Portnoy commented on his love for seeing cash only, which in his opinion is always a good sign, but he admitted that when he first entered the crowded joint, the food looked better than the pizza. The food looked amazing, like old-school Italian. The pizza, I'm not sure, he said. He described the pizza as super thin. It's like a thinny thin, he said, as he struggled to grab the pizza, saying it was very floppy. He said it felt more like cracker pizza. He gave it a score of 7.1. Ray's Pizza got this score. In an October 30 episode, Portnoy was at 2186 Acushnet Ave, excited to take a bite out of Ray's offering. I walk in and you just see it and root for a place to be awesome, he said. This place was old school. No frills, nowhere to sit. He was calculating the change, old school register, didn't need a thing. So I really hope it's good. Really good crust, really good flavor, a little too greasy to get me beyond a 7.3. Portnoy said he wanted to give it a higher score, but was mainly overwhelmed by the amount of grease. I feel like you'd get a little sick if you ate the whole thing. It just needs more towels, he added. Needs about 4 paper towels to knock it down and make it a little bit drier. The Dippers Cafe one-bite rating. Posted on October 31st, Portnoy visited the Dipper Cafe, located at 1367 Purchase Street, and was surprised to meet a Miami Dolphins fan watching a game on the television, as well as blown away by the spray paint art on the front of the building. The brown bag is generally a great sign for a good pizza pie, and they double-plated it, also a great sign, he said. He suggested a quick towel dip to get the grease out as he tried the first piece while onlookers filmed him on their iPhones as he made the official rating of 7.6. MassDOT is pausing construction and opening lanes for Thanksgiving traffic. This Thanksgiving will see record number of drivers on the road, which means drivers are preparing for traffic. The MassDOT Highway Division is trying to make it a little easier for those traveling for the Thanksgiving holiday. It is taking several steps to ensure safe and efficient travel on state-owned roadways. With the Thanksgiving holiday week, MassDOT is forecasting increased traffic volumes throughout the week, with the heaviest outbound traffic expected in the afternoons of Monday through Wednesday. Highway Administrator Jonathan Gulliver said in a release this week, "We also expect returning volumes to be heavier on Sunday, December 1st. We encourage travelers to make their trips outside of peak hours and drive safely." Here's what to know about how MassDOT is trying to mitigate traffic. What is the MassDOT doing to help the traffic flow? First, there will be no scheduled construction work on major arterial roadways outside of established work zones starting at 5 a.m. on Tuesday, November 26th through 5 a.m. on Monday, December 2nd. Also, the HOV lane, located on I-93 between Boston and Quincy, will extend its afternoon hours by opening from 2 to 7 p.m. on Tuesday, November 26th, and from 1 to 7 p.m. on Wednesday, November 27th. The HOV lane will be closed on Thursday, November 28th, and on Friday, the 29th. Due to increased travel in and out of Logan Airport, the Sumner Tunnel swing lane will not be deployed on Thursday, November 28th and Friday, the 29th. Will there be changes to the airport commuter rail schedule for the holiday? Yes, there will be additional Silver Line service to and from Boston Logan International Airport to help passengers traveling by air. Additional Silver Line service to and from Logan Airport will be added the day before, on November 27th, and the day after, November 29th. The Silver Line is free from Logan Airport to Boston destinations, the release said. The travelers are advised to arrive early for their flights. Will MBTA ferry services be operating on Thanksgiving Day? No, on Thanksgiving Day, no ferry service will operate. That includes the Hingham Hull Ferry, the East Boston Ferry, the Winthrop Quincy Ferry, and the Charlestown Ferry. For information about the MBTA schedules on Thursday the 28th, visit www.mbta.com/holidays. What are the worst times to drive regarding Thanksgiving? AAA Northeast stated that the worst times to travel by car over Thanksgiving are Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon before the holiday, according to INRIX, a provider of transportation data and insights. The best time for driving on that Tuesday and that Wednesday is early morning with minimal traffic expected on Thanksgiving Day. AAA added that drivers returning home on Sunday should leave early in the morning, and those coming back on Monday should expect a mix of travelers and work commuters on the road. How many people are expected to travel by car? AAA projects a record 71.7 million people will travel by car for Thanksgiving, which represents an additional 1.3 million travelers on the road compared to last year. This year's numbers also surpasses pre-pandemic numbers in 2019, when 70.6 million people drove to their Thanksgiving destinations. The increase is most likely because drivers are benefiting from lower gas prices this Thanksgiving season, AAA Northeast noted, adding, the average gas price in Massachusetts is down over 40 cents from this time last year. As a reminder, this is Audible Local Ledger reading you stories from New Bedford Standard Times for Tuesday, November 26, 2024. We have one obituary today. Sandra Page Boyce Abreu, 86, formerly of New Bedford, Mass., passed away on Sunday, November 17th, peacefully with family at her side on Bailey Island, Maine. Our next headline, what is fluoride and why is it added to the U.S. water supply? Robert F. Kennedy, Jr., U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's choice to head the Department of Health and Human Services, has said Trump will call for an end to adding fluoride to public water supplies. Trump has not announced a position, but said it's possible he would make such a recommendation. Here's what you need to know about fluoridation of drinking water as a public health measure and recent developments surrounding the issue. What is fluoride and what are its benefits? Fluoride is a mineral that occurs naturally in water, soil, and air that has been demonstrated to prevent dental cavities or tooth decay. It works by strengthening the tooth's enamel, its hard outer surface, making it more resistant to the acid produced by bacteria that cause tooth decay. Fluoride also reverses early tooth decay by replacing and preventing loss of minerals in teeth. Prior to the beginning of community water fluoridation, tooth decay was widespread and severe among Americans. After fluoride was added in many places to the U.S. water supply, tooth decay declined in both children and adults, and complete tooth loss in older adults became more rare, according to federal health officials. When did water fluoridation as a policy begin? In the early 20th century, some U.S. researchers observed that people who lived in areas where community water supplies had naturally occurring high levels of fluoride had teeth that were resistant to decay. In 1945, the Michigan city of Grand Rapids became the first to add fluoride to its water supply in a controlled manner, kicking off what was in effect a large-scale public health experiment. Data over a 15-year span showed a reduction of more than 60% in tooth decay among 30,000 school children in Grand Rapids, demonstrating fluoride's protective benefits. No federal law mandates fluoridation of water supplies. The decision to fluoridate water is typically made by municipal governments, city councils, or local water authorities. How widespread is fluoridation in the U.S.? About 63% of all Americans have fluoride in their community water systems, according to CDC statistics as of 2022. According to the American Dental Association, the average cost per year for U.S. communities to fluoridate their water supplies ranges from 50 cents per person for large communities to $3 per person for small communities. In most of the world, fluoride is not added to the public water supply. Some counties add fluoride to table salt. In some regions, fluoride levels in water are naturally high. Are fluoride levels regulated? The U.S. Public Health Service recommends that drinking water levels for fluoride remain below 0.7 milligrams per liter. Levels above 1.5 milligrams per liter are known to increase health risks such as bone fractures, thyroid disease, and nervous system damage. The enforceable limit, as set by the U.S. EPA, is 4.0 milligrams per liter. What companies make fluoride? Fluorosilicic acid is the compound most widely used in water systems as it yields free fluoride rapidly when mixed with water. J.R. Simplot and Nutrien's PCS Phosphate Company are among companies that manufacture the product according to the EPA. Total U.S. domestic production of fluorosilicic acid from phosphate rock was approximately 32,000 tons in 2019, according to EPA statistics. What did Kennedy say? Kennedy, the former independent presidential candidate who subsequently endorsed Trump, is Trump's pick to be U.S. Health Secretary. In a social media post 3 days before Trump was elected, Kennedy wrote that on January 20, the Trump White House will advise all U.S. water systems to remove fluoride from public water, noting the day of Trump's inauguration. Kennedy has claimed in the absence of conclusive evidence that water fluoridation at U.S. levels is associated with numerous health issues, including cancer. What do public health experts say? The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has called fluoridation of drinking water one of the nation's top 10 public health achievements of the 20th century, noting that it effectively prevents tooth decay regardless of a person's socioeconomic status or access to care. The American Dental Association has reiterated its support for community water fluoridation to help prevent tooth decay. Our last story today is from the advice column Ask the Vet. The Center for Pet Safety tests and certifies pet travel equipment. Dr. Lee Pickett. Question. My seatbelt will help protect me if I'm involved in a car accident, and I want the same for my dog Gucci, who often rides with me. What's the best way to keep him safe? Answer. You are wise to restrain Gucci in the car. Not only could he be injured in a crash, but an accident could hurl him against you, preventing you from controlling your car. Unrestrained pets can also cause accidents by distracting the driver or crawling under the brake pedal. If Gucci is small, confine him to a pet carrier secured to the back seat with a seatbelt. If he's larger and you drive a station wagon, SUV, or van, put him in a crate attached by strength-rated anchor straps to the cargo area. If he's a big dog and you have only a back seat, secure him in a harness connected to the seatbelt. Pet travel restraint equipment is unregulated, and manufacturers are not required to adhere to any particular performance standards or even to test their equipment before they market it. So it's not surprising that the majority of carriers, crates, and harnesses do not adequately protect pets during a crash. Fortunately, the Center for Pet Safety, or CPS, a nonprofit research and advocacy organization, conducts rigorous crash testing on pet carriers, crates, and harnesses using realistic canine and feline crash test dummies. You'll be relieved to hear that CPS never uses live animals in its testing. They publicize their test results to make it easy for you to purchase CPS-certified pet travel restraint equipment. To see crash test videos, view the list of CPS-certified products, and learn about cargo area anchors, strength-rated anchor straps, and harness extension tethers, visit https://www.centerforpetsafety.org. Question. My elderly indoor cat doesn't jump onto furniture as often as she used to, and she hesitates before she does. I have osteoarthritis, and she looks like I feel. Do cats get osteoarthritis too? Answer, yes. In fact, osteoarthritis, also called degenerative joint disease, or DJD, is surprisingly common in cats. One study of 100 randomly selected cats, evenly divided into 4 age groups, 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, and 15 to 20 years of age, found that 92% showed signs of DJD on X-rays, properly called radiographs. The prevalence was similar in each age group, although severity worsened with age. In 91 of those 100 cats, DJD was present in the legs, most often the elbows, hips, knees, and hocks. The spine was affected in 55 cats. Researchers scored the radiographs for severity and learned that DJD worsens 14% every year of life. Another study of 116 healthy indoor cats aged 6 years and older revealed DJD of the radiographs of 96% of the cats. Front legs were more commonly affected than rear legs. DJD usually affects joints on both sides of the cat's body, so most arthritic cats don't limp or exhibit other clinical signs of the disease. Some, however, become less active overall and less willing to jump up onto or down from furniture. They climb and descend stairs slowly and stiffly. The twisting required to groom themselves is painful, so some arthritic cats develop mats on their rumps. Litter box habits may change, particularly if the cat must use stairs to access the box or climb into a box with high sides. Fortunately, your veterinarian can prescribe treatment that decreases pain, improves function, and prolongs life for cats with DJD. Treatment options include weight loss, dietary modification, supplements, medication, laser therapy, and acupuncture. Helpful environmental changes, including providing ramps onto furniture, placing chairs by counters, and locating low-entry litter boxes on every floor of the home. This has been Eleanor with Audible Local Ledger, reading from the New Bedford Standard Times, Tuesday, November 26th. Thanks for listening, and happy Thanksgiving.